Everyone, how are we doing today? This is Friday, October 9th, and this is your daily financial news. Well, one of the things I'm doing during this crisis is counting it by the number of haircuts or shavings, and this is number three. So it's been three haircuts during the I don't know, whatever this health crisis is, you want to call it. A couple of quick things. First and foremost, we are on the march to 10,000. We are now 110 subscribers away from that magic number. If you like these daily financial news and you enjoy what we're doing here, do me a favor, be part of the first 10,000 and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Hopefully get there. Honestly, by next week would be pretty awesome. Then next thing I want to highlight is a couple of videos that went out yesterday. First, we did an interview with Jonathan Tilley, which you should all know about. We talk to him every Thursday. But yesterday's interview was special for a couple of reasons. First off, it's the first interview I've done that was over an hour, so I realize it's on the longer duration. But the second half of that video really goes into why I think we're in kind of a rotation, why there will actually be opportunities created in the future if you plan for it. We talked about what to do today, right? What makes sense in the crazy market we are today. And as I have been saying for a while and really wanted to check with Jonathan was, I think the opportunities in single family homes, and I think, you know, the once safe Class A apartment, certainly in urban areas, is in real trouble. And Jonathan and I went through that together. He brought up some charts talking about what has happened in other recessions in his experience. And the long story short is he sees it the same way I do. And the fact that some buildings that were maybe traded in 2019 could see a 40 to 50% haircut. And that's going to smoke people, right? If you overpaid for Class A properties, you are going to be in trouble, especially if you're making it work because you have interest-only payments for a couple of years. There's just some real pain there where people don't think there is pain. And really it is because every crisis that I've been through proves that there's a long-held belief that was wrong. And it is my belief that this crisis, when we look back on it, will be millennials and Gen Z only want to rent. They want to rent forever. I hear it all the time. And they wanted to rent longer, but not forever. And that is changing. And Jonathan shares his experience and really shares the fact that that's accelerating. Millennials are becoming buyers. We have seen dramatic uptick in home ownership. And, you know, it feels good, honestly, to get something right. Because there's a lot of people that disagree with me, and they are passionately disagreeing with me. So it was interesting. Because that video was so long, I did go in and publish a second video just with the math. I think it's called The Math was the title. So if you only want to see the math behind how a $117 million property could become roughly 60 million, I made that video just for you. But just so you know, if you've watched the longer Jonathan interview, no need to watch the math video. It's the same video, just with the first 35 minutes deleted. I figured the math was so important that I wanted to put that out there because I want you to be protected. And also I want you to know what's coming. So that's what I did for you. Also, we are going to do tomorrow's Q&A session. I just enjoy them. Saturday Q&As, 8 a.m. Pacific. If you have a couple of questions that you want me to start off with, I always like to do that. If I can get the first 5 to 10 minutes covered with questions as people join, that would be great. So if you have a question, do me a favor. Don't do it now because it won't be recorded. But once I post this, leave them in the comments. I'll look at that about 9 o'clock tonight and be ready for you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. If we want to make this fun and show me a thank you, let's get the thumbs up on this video to over 150. So we're going to do it regardless, honestly, because I enjoy it. But if you want to send me a little love, let's get the thumbs up on this daily financial news to 150. I would appreciate it. So on to the news. A couple of things. First and foremost, looks like AMD is looking to buy Xilinx for about $30 billion. when you look at where Xilinx is strong, this acquisition makes sense. One of the things I'll probably do later today is do a video or a hot take on low interest rates, because I think we are starting to see behavior that I've seen before, and it may not end well. So I'll probably do a hot take on low interest rates. But I do think this AMD Xilinx deal makes sense. It's going to be stock and cash, so we'll do that. Disney is moving another movie direct to Disney Plus. I have long since seen this as a path for Disney. Again, I think this health crisis has forced that, Mulan being the first. The second one, I believe, is called Souls. I didn't write it down, but that's from memory a couple hours ago when I read it. So that's interesting. Again, I think Disney Plus is going to be a vehicle that they plan for releasing product. And I actually could see Disney almost doubling their production, right? They could create an arm just for Disney Plus and an arm for movie theaters whenever those come back. I think this health crisis has really accelerated Disney Plus, and they have something magical there. There's just, as you know, my daughter's almost 30, so it's been a while, but Disney movies have a special place. At least they did for my child when she was younger. And Disney just has that magic for kid movies. So I think that continues going forward. Looks like we have some more proof that Florida is winning and New York is losing. South Florida luxury market is rebounding. This again is single family homes over $1 million. They dropped 55% in Q2, so think April, May, June, but they rebounded strong in Q3. And these compares are year on year, so not quarter on quarter. I made sure of that. Q3 was up 65%. And it looks like the buyers are coming from New Jersey, Connecticut, California, and New York. So there we go. What else is going on? Oh, yeah, again, the luxury market, right? Everything over $1 million is just flying off the shelf. Again, if you don't know, Florida's state income tax is very favorable, i.e. zero. And again, New Jersey, New York, California, very high taxed states. Just got word that Microsoft is now, for the first time, telling their employees they can work from home forever. They had originally talked through the end of the year. They have now gone that extra step and gone the way of Square and Twitter and many others, saying, hey, we're pretty darn productive working from home. And if you want to do that, you can. And again, I think this is going to have huge ripple effects. First, they're going to have shrinking office space. They're also going to have a different tax structure because, again, some of their employees will leave the state. Net, I think more and more tech companies are going to go this route. And for me, this channel, it's all about real estate. There are impacts for real estate when that happens, right? There are likely tens of thousands of Microsoft employees in Class A apartments near their headquarters. And I'm guessing there won't be as many this time next year. This is what's happening across the country. Saw a note that Dr. Fauci is going to be skipping his normal Thanksgiving tradition of bringing his kids home. That's not really relevant, but what it did to get me thinking is how much is your personal family adjusting, right? Whether if you have kids that are young, Halloween, right? Are you going to have them dress up and go out? Or are you just going to buy some candy, throw it in a pillowcase, and call it a day? What are you going to do for Thanksgiving, right? Do you usually go somewhere for Thanksgiving, bring people home? Is Thanksgiving changing? And then, of course, Christmas, right? I think Christmas is going to be vastly different this year. And what do you want, Jimbo? You're making a lot of noise. So again, I think Christmas. So again, this year sucked. So what are you doing for your holidays? What are you doing different? How can we make them special? We've got to find a way to make this less about what we've lost and maybe what we start. If we're not careful, we can really let depression sneak in by thinking about what we've lost. So it's just crazy. Forbearance requests. This is something to be market moving. A lot of the younger YouTubers out there are talking about the forbearance issue. Well, guess what? We just saw, 649,000 people exit the program. It's now below 3 million. There's another 800,000 forbearance requests that are up in the next 30 days, which would be the 6-month window for them. So again, we will see. I have long thought and have shared many times that I don't think the forbearance pile is as dire as others think, and looks like, at least at first cut, it is proving that direction. But I do think there's some subtleties in there. I'll probably do another video or a hot take just on that, because I think if you're not careful and you just read the headline, you may be over bullish, because I think there's some pain in those numbers that folks aren't talking about. I don't know about you, but Wall Street's been going up the last 3 days, and I don't know why. Clearly, I'm guessing Wall Street sees an imminent stimulus deal, and I don't know what they're seeing. Maybe they pay some lobbyists and they have information that you and I don't have. Probably do, actually. But I don't see how a deal gets done before the election. I just don't. Not even a piecemeal deal. And then after your election, who knows? So again, all of this is just speaks pain to me. I've said for a while now, and unfortunately now just believe that Q4 is going to be utterly painful for too many Americans. It's going to set up a nice comeback in 2021, but it's going to be a slow and painful road back. Got to talk about the NFL and NBA. The NBA actually could end their season today if the Lakers beat the Heat. I'm a basketball fan, as many of you know, with the season ticket holder to the Warriors. But again, the NBA went now, knock on wood, assuming they get through today and the Lakers win, they got through the whole bubble without a breakout of the virus or the health crisis. While the NFL is now talking about delaying games, forfeiting games. I just heard as I was walking up that in addition to the Titans and New England Patriots, the Jets now have some folks that have caught it. And it's just harder, right? The NFL, if you don't know, has many, many more players, right? And the average NBA team has 15, or the NBA teams have 15 and maybe a dozen coaches. So we're talking less than 30 per team. I mean, the NFL is hundreds of people. So very different, right? Definitely no bubble that they're in. So just different ways to handle it. The NFL is getting awful close to maybe calling I don't know. I don't think they can cancel the season, because I read that the NFL has $3 billion on the line. That's a lot of money out there to be had. But I could see them calling almost an all-star break, which is a baseball reference where there's just a break in the season, right? Okay, we're going to take 2 weeks off, figure out where we are, and start anew. I actually could see that happening, and see that happening pretty quickly. And then the last thing I saw that really was heartbreaking to me is it looks like Broadway in New York is now shut down until May 30th, 2021. That's one of the heartbeats of New York, and I've been to plenty of events there, and it's shocking. And I don't know if you know this, they've been shut down since March 12th. So March 12th to the end of May is 15 months. And oh, by the way, you and I know this could be extended. That's 97,000 people out of work. That's a $14.8 billion impact to the local economy. It's just real pain going on in New York. And I've heard some people, my daughter lives out there. I've heard some people walk around Broadway. It looks like a movie set with everything boarded up and stuff. So it's not good. So that's what I got for you today. Again, if you want to understand how a $120 million building could be worth $60 million like that, go check out yesterday's video, the math. I think you'll be excited. I think you'll really see why I believe multifamily is set up for a couple of years of pain, why I think single family works, and why I'm going to repeat what we did in our book. Buy houses, 1031 into apartments in 3 or 4 years. Just watch the math video if that's what you have time for. And we're going to do Saturday session together, 8 o'clock. If you have some questions you want me to address, leave them below. And don't forget, show me some love. Let's try to get thumbs up to 150. And lastly, we are 110 short of subscribers from 10,000. It'd be fun to get there. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.